So yeah, my name is Krstjan, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of 50skills.com. For research scientists who want to enter entrepreneurship, I think it's important to coming in, have hypotheses about everything, about how things work. Whatever you think have a hypothesis about that. But also be willing to really, dig your toe in the water, try it out. And if it doesn't work out, be willing to pivot some of the things. People that I work in research, a lot of the times, entrepreneurship things move. In many scenarios, people need to be able to really sprint in areas where they've often needed to really take the time to do certain research. So it can be a different field. But more people with research skills in the entrepreneurial space is definitely, extremely valuable, and getting more people there would be fantastic. Educational background is political science, and I took a major in marketing and international business. So the company is a software provider. It helps businesses with recruiting through referrals. So the customers that we're looking at is mainly small businesses with around maybe 1,000 employees or less, or we're expecting to grow or add on about 30 employees over the next 12 months. So when we started this, we were trying to figure out who would be the right buyer for this, who would be the right customer. And one of the things that we did was just to talk to a lot of businesses out there. So talk to businesses of different sizes, people in different sectors, and trying to understand how they did their recruiting processes and how they all took place. And in that process, we gained a lot of feedback. Through that feedback, we were able to kind of pinpoint, narrow down more what the total available market was, as well as where our primary segment was lying with regard to our own business. Yeah, so there's a different type of problems that we're solving for our clients. One of the main problems is that once a company wants to start to different steps that the company needs to take in order to define who they need for the job, advertise the job itself, get the candidate in, finalize the hire, do all the job specifications, etc. And in all those different steps, there's different processes for different companies which they've established. So we've looked at the entire process, and we've thought, what are the main things that you really need to focus on as a company? And we've developed certain features that help them really accelerate and focus most of their time on the candidates themselves, rather than administration-driven tasks. So typically, there's two different ways that when we have a customer on board and how we get them on board. It's either a referral, so somebody is referring a customer to us, telling us about a customer that might be interested for the product. So we are introduced, do a sales pitch on the whole thing that we have, and if they're interested, they'll become a partner of ours. The second thing is people that find us online, so it's inbound marketing. They find us online through some sort of means. We connect with them with our B2B sales force, and a similar process takes place from there. So the high-level business model, it's a software service model. It's an annual cost that companies pay based on the number of employees that they have. Yeah, so the MVP was initially just sketching things on paper. And after sketching things on paper, just getting a lot of feedback on some of the sketches. We then ended up doing some prototypes by using Sketch, InVision, getting some people to try out the demos, and just reiterate until we felt that we were happy with the product. In general, we feel that we need at least 5 different people to try the product out to get some meaningful feedback on the product itself. So once we've gotten that feedback and done the right iterations, we felt that we were ready to go and to get the coding going. So there's a lot of different technical things that we put into it, but just like the high-level basics of it. In the back end, we're using Python with Django for the API, and then we use React in the front end. So I'd say that's a twofold question. I think if you're building a technology company, if you're trying to build the next Twitter or something like that, then you need to have very good people on board that can build that. I think it's okay for parts of that technology to use libraries or things that are out there, but fundamentally you need to build it from scratch, or you're not going to be competitive. But I think if you're just building a website for your company, you want to get something up there fast, running, it looks nice, works for whatever purposes it might be. Using templates is just absolutely fine. You have time and money, and you need to do your best with what you have. To begin with, we're finalizing the product, getting it out there and into X many customers' hands. Once we've done that, we're hoping that we'll be able to iterate the product to make sure that we're definitely solving all the different problems and needs of the customer, and making sure that our product roadmap has all the right kind of features and requirements on there to solve the key things that need solving. But once we've done that, we want to make sure that we get the right product market fit. So we have certain different hypotheses about how we should get our customers on board. There's certain models that we do use in both marketing and sales in different markets, and reiterate that model in more markets in a bigger scale. Question on entrepreneurship. Just maybe final advice for entrepreneurs.